So I'm with my guy Colby, fully recovered. How long did it take you, Colby? 2 months? Almost exactly? 60
Yeah,
days?
it's a little, yeah, it's a little over 2 months. So
Incredible, incredible, incredible. Well, man, we're here to celebrate you, bro, and just, you know, introduce yourself. Let's start with that. Introduce yourself.
yeah, so Colby Arundel from South Carolina, work in college athletics. Um, I love being active, working out, hanging out with friends, spending time with my wife. Um, so yeah, pretty normal dude.
Pretty normal dude. Pretty great dude, honestly. Okay, cool. And like, what was life like before DPDR, Colby?
Oh man, life was good. I mean, I was doing my thing. Um, Coasting, honestly.
Okay.
um, and it was kind of probably the wake up call that I needed. I can say that now on the backside of it, when it happened, going through it, terrifying, um, as
Yeah.
you know. But
We can definitely talk about what that even means because a lot of people watching this don't understand like how is DPDR wake up call or how is it a blessing and all that. But
yeah,
okay, cool, bro.
certainly,
So what was
certainly would say.
the go ahead?
No, I mean we can talk about it, but later. But certainly would say it was a blessing in my life for sure.
Of course it is. And how did everything start for you, Colby? How did DPDR even come to be?
Yeah, I mean for me it was a weed gummy induced. They just kind of uh, just rocked my world. It took me a long time to identify what it is or have the knowledge to know what it is and what was going on. And I think that was probably the scariest part.
Of course.
And really made limited progress until I started this course and this program, both from like an information and knowledge standpoint, and then also from like a mindset and just purely the tools and what to actually do. Um,
Yeah.
I lived for 2 years, kind of lived with it.
Yeah. It was 18 months, wasn't it? A year and a half?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, man. I mean, I still remember when you reached out to me. I remember the day you reached out to me. I remember me sending you a voice message. Um, and yeah, I knew it since that day. I told you even before you hopped on a call with my team that you were going to recover and I was going to help you. And we made it happen. That's for sure.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, bro, talk to me. Like, what symptoms were you actually going through? I know it's tough to like even remember, but like if you can remember at your peak, what were the symptoms you were experiencing?
yeah. For me, it was, even just my perception, just my vision, everything was just wacky. I had, just a loop of thoughts of like the anxiety of being stuck like that. I had,
Of course.
not recognizing myself in the mirror type of feelings, not, you know, looking at people that I've known for decades and decades and not really recognizing them, feeling like it was like I was in a video game or something.
Yeah.
And those were the main ones. Just the brain fog and all that stuff that comes along with that.
Yeah.
Um, those were the big ones.
I feel you, man. And back to when it triggered, because I remember you said you had a very, very, very crazy experience that day, right? Where just it felt like it was like a psychotic event, right?
Yeah,
Man, I've
yeah.
experienced that. I don't know if we've ever gone into depth on that, bro. What did that feel like briefly?
Um, Geez, honestly, I can remember it like it was yesterday.
Really? Okay.
Um, I mean, not necessarily the feelings, but just I remember just being so out of control of like not like it's like I couldn't stop just what I was doing, and it was a bizarre experience.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a massive panic attack, kind of was what was going on, I think, but and
Yeah.
it just got me all out of whack. Um, got my nervous system all jacked up. Um, but yeah, it was pretty bizarre. I mean, I remember saying it out loud that I thought I died and gone to hell. I was
Same.
actually,
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly
yeah.
what I said.
And honestly, for a while, I thought I was actually, I really did. I thought this was my purgatory. Like what was happening?
Oh,
And so that was scary. Um, but
terrifying. Yeah. So just recap of the symptoms. I mean, you told me here, you said just extremely anxious, depressed, and just numb. Sometimes you feel like you don't recognize yourself, you don't recognize people in your life. Did you ever get those feelings of like things didn't feel real? And
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I remember. Geez, I mean, there's moments that come to my mind of like sitting in, and I've worked in basketball for a long time, and I remember sitting on the bench at a game and just like looking around, like what is going on, like what is it, like something that
what
was
is this?
something
Literally.
that something that was so natural to me and just so like such a common occurrence was just felt so bizarre. Um, and the numbness, that was one that I hated and fought a lot, was like why do I feel emotionally dead almost, like when stuff is going on, like major life events are happening and I feel nothing. It was those were some of the hardest symptoms to deal with.
It's horrible, bro. Everything you just said is right. What about like the existential thoughts? Do you ever get those? Like obsessive thoughts, intrusive thoughts?
Oh, for sure, the obsessives, for sure. Um all of that. Yes, I had all of that. um
I know, I
it
know.
was like my mind was on one big loop and I was feeding into it and it couldn't stop. um I
Yeah,
lost weight and gained weight and lost weight and gained weight through the whole thing, just because I, I I wasn't taking care of myself.
of course. No, I remember that. And now you're an animal. You're a beast, bro. You're amazing. It's crazy how far we've came, but I wouldn't say it's crazy. I would just say it's impressive on your part. Just the discipline, the consistency. We'll definitely talk about that. But man, while you were in this, even before reaching out to me, did you ever feel like you were going to be stuck like this? Did you ever feel like you were like recovery wasn't a possibility at a certain point or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think that's one of the hardest things about this and going through this is that your traditional, methods of medicine just it's not the doctors, they're not educated enough on what it is and how to help people that go through it. They'll just give you a pill or tell you to deep
Breathe.
breathe deeply or to meditate, whatever it is. Like they're just going to tell you different things that they're trained to do, and that was the hardest part because you kept feeling like the things that people were telling you to do, you would do them, um, and there was no progress. So
Nothing.
yeah, I did feel, it's one of those things that like you feel like you're the only person that can't get out of it type of deal. Um,
Of
like
course.
those thoughts certainly, like, oh, it worked for that person, but like my case is worse, or or that's not what mine is. Maybe even mine's, you know, I
Mine's
fried my
something else.
brain or something. I don't know, whatever it is.
No, that's actually you read my mind because that's what I went through. And there's definitely someone watching this right now that's thinking that. Did you watch a client interview before joining the program? You must have, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that was part of the onboarding or whatever.
of course. What did you feel like when you did watch it? Like, did you feel like that? Like, that's cool, but like mine is probably a little worse, or mine's like a little bit different, or just doubting?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. For me, there were always like the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other, right? That was like,
Literally,
oh,
that's
like,
exactly what it's like.
oh, oh, like that. Yeah, that's great. Like, oh, so that he helped someone, he can help me. And then there's the devil on the other shoulder saying like, yeah, yeah, but you can't help you, right? And part of it was scary for me too because it was like, okay, like if this doesn't help me, then like nothing can kind of deal. Like I put a lot of pressure on this program.
Damn.
Uh, yeah, I know. I mean, it's a me problem to like help me, and it was scary. And in fact, I didn't reach out for a long time because I didn't want to feel like I was at that last resort or last. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because I didn't want to face the truth that I couldn't be fixed, right? Um,
Wow, man, that's deep,
which was
bro.
which was a bad. I mean, that was obviously just part of what the doubts and the mindset that when you are in this for 18 months, you get stuck just thinking like that, right?
Of course.
So anyway, but
So yeah,
obviously very glad that I did.
of course, man, absolutely. So you'd been hesitating actually reaching out to me, you said?
I had, yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, how long did you actually follow me before reaching out?
You know, you know, and when you, and this is part of what feeds the loop. When you're in something like this, you're like a Google and Instagram reel, just constant, right? Like,
Junkie, just a
and your
junkie.
and your algorithm gets all jacked up. So I'd seen you and I'd actually screenshotted your page. I didn't follow you, but I'd screenshot it and because I had like a folder on my phone of like things to like, oh, like that's the next thing I can try, or that's the next thing.
Ah,
Um, and so I'd seen it. It wasn't long, honestly, because when I saw it, I was very intrigued. But yeah, it was probably a couple weeks, probably.
couple weeks. Okay. What was like, was there a moment where you just started like, I have to reach out? Like, what actually made you push you to reach out?
Well, I mean, I would have just days that it was like I can't live like this anymore. Like this ain't a way to live, honestly. Like,
That's it. That's it right there.
and so it was like if this guy's who he says he is, like, then we're gonna get it done. Um, and so that made me.
There we go. It just you have to get to that point. You have to say like it. It's the same common theme with every single person who's recovered. You have to get to that point where you're like, I can't afford to live this life. Like, I can't live like this anymore. You know?
Yeah.
That's where the magic
And
happens every single time.
yeah, and you've honestly you feel like a fraud a little bit too because like I have a good job. I make decent money. Like I have a beautiful wife and like everything on the outside looks like my life is great and I'm like hiding this massive thing that I'm just at war with every day. And I'm like I don't want to be like that anymore. Like I want to be who I am and um so yeah, I definitely got to that point.
That's how we made magic happen, man. And you said when you came across my page, you were intrigued. What was it specifically that was intriguing? Since I know that you had been watching a whole bunch of content and screenshotting different things. Like, what stood out to you specifically about me, comparison to the rest of the world?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me was that, you know, I had done so much research that I thought that this was probably like if I had to self-diagnose that like DPDR was like what I was going through.
Mm,
Um,
yeah, I remember
and you were you know, you were the only thing I had really seen outside of a couple other like little programs that were like $100 or something, which I just, you know, I don't know. They just didn't feel as strong to me. Um, And so the fact that you identified yourself as someone that can help with this specific thing um was like okay, like there's other people out there that have also like identified that this is what's going on. Um so that was the main part.
that was the main part. Got you, bro. Well, speaking of what we were talking about before, where you said you were trying a whole bunch of things, like what did you actually try before reaching out to me to try to get the help?
Yeah, I mean I had done like talk therapy and medication and um all sorts of like different exercises and breathing stuff and acupuncture, even like all sorts of
Wow,
stuff that like quote unquote like was supposed to help my nervous system and all this stuff. And I'm sure it did to some degree. I'm not saying those things are bad. But so much of it was like I could talk about it all day. Like that wasn't helping. Um, you know, the medication has its own things that I'm not very big on. Um,
Worse. Man, I
so
when did you get on a medication? I don't feel like I remember us talking about that.
it was pretty early on.
It was
And
early on it, but this was last year.
yeah,
Okay, that
yeah.
makes sense. Yeah. Okay, what medication did they put you on?
Oh geez, I don't even remember. I mean, just a
That's all right.
yeah, yeah.
How was that experience for you?
Uh, it was. I mean, they tried a couple different ones because there were some that just had bizarre side effects. Um,
You were like a
so it
lab
was just
rat. You should have, okay,
yeah,
you never know what the hell
yeah.
they're doing.
So it wasn't great for me, and it certainly uh, didn't help.
No.
But
What about therapy? How many sessions of talk therapy did you do?
cool, probably once a week for I don't know, a month or so, maybe a couple months. But it was like like once you go over what happened and like I don't know, there's just only so much. Like can't talk about it for that long, and
Sure.
I
What
don't
do
know.
you feel like was missing? What do you feel like was missing from therapy? Because, well, I don't know if you know this, but I have like, let's say out of 1,000 people that reach out to me, at least half of them have already tried therapy, and the other half haven't, and almost want to try it because it's a traditional way to do things. Like what was your experience like with therapy, and why doesn't it help DPDR specifically?
Um, I think it almost fed into the loop more like my obsessive thoughts and like all that
Yep.
stuff like more than it helped, right? Like
Mhm.
it was almost like that, okay, so after session 5, am I going to be healed because we finally talked about it enough? Like it just never like all we were doing was talking about what I was already thinking about all day long. So it didn't I, for me it just didn't help. Um,
Yep.
you know, there were so many things like I knew I could tell myself that I was safe, that everything was good. Like I knew that. Uh, there's no bear running at me, even though my body was acting like there was. I could cognitively tell myself that.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
but just so it wasn't a cognitive thing at that point.
No.
Um,
That's a great point you brought up. Well, it's not a point I talk about enough. I mean, I just straight up say therapy obviously isn't going to be the solution, but I can definitely, and I have taken a step further where I could say talk therapy in specific can absolutely make it worse. And like you said, it feeds into the loop. It feeds into the subconscious loop of making it really important and making it this thing that you talk about all the time. So you're
yeah,
absolutely right about that. So I'm sure you went to therapists, you went to doctors as well. What did they tell you?
just you got anxiety.
Yep.
You have anxiety. It's
Yep.
okay.
The classic.
It's okay. Like just take this. Like you'll be come back in October. You'll be better. You'll feel better. Um, or whatever. And like you tell them your symptoms and they look at you like you are out of your mind.
Literally. That's the part that I hate, man. Because like you
So
already feel like you're out of your mind, and then no one
yeah,
even knows what the hell is going on with you. And then now you really feel like you're out of your mind. And then that's when obviously you come across a page like me, and I'm just like, recovery here, recovery there. Look at Colby, look at whoever else. And then that's when you're like, wait, how is that even possible? You know?
yeah, no, 100%.
Cool, bro. Well, what was I gonna ask you? I had something written down. Oh yeah, like man, what actual like did you have any doubts or fears before joining the program? Like were you skeptical and how did you deal with that?
I mean, of course I was. I mean, it, it's just not the traditional way to fix medical problems, right? Like on Instagram, this guy, like I didn't know you. So
Yeah,
definitely there definitely was that. But I think you get to a point, or at least I did, where you don't care. You're like, all right, we're gonna try this at 110%, and we'll figure, if it doesn't work, we'll figure out what the next thing is, right? Like you have to, if you don't have that mindset, it just, I don't know what people do. I don't know what I would have done. So for me, like that was definitely there, but quickly once I got into the program and like I think too, like honestly, like when you make the financial investment that you have to make, and it's a good thing in my opinion, you like it was like, nah, I'm not paying that to do this 50%. What are we talking about? Like it's insane. So
Like, I'm
for
sure-
me, like I chose to dive in and do everything the right way. Um,
and you did. And man, I remember that's what people don't understand is like when you go all in on something. The truth is that people have never gone all in on almost anything in their life. So when you go all in on something, how would you explain that to people who haven't done that? Because you did, and within week 4, we were already talking about you being 90% recovered, right? It's like, what does it actually feel like to go all in and make it happen? If you could explain it.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, like everything else for me was no, I mean, I was able to do my job and be a good husband and all that stuff. Like, I'm not saying that I wasn't able to do that, but like the non-negotiables every day were the most important thing about what I was doing from the time I woke up to the time I went to bed. Um, and like, if I had to, other stuff was sacrificed for that. Um, and to be honest, like there wasn't a whole lot of days where it was like hard. It was just you can look at it and did I feel like working out and lifting every day? Absolutely not. But like I didn't care. My feelings didn't matter. It was about checking this off the list every day. And then you get to a point where you're looking forward to lifting every day or journaling every day or whatever it is. Um, so it was
Um,
for me it was just making it the priority. And my first week I was at the beach. Like my first week it just happened to be that way. I was on vacation and
you
it
were,
didn't matter. Like sure, maybe I ate something a treat one time that week that I wouldn't have normally, but like for the most part, like nah, like I got up early, I got my stuff done, had time to still enjoy it, but that was the priority.
yeah. And take me back to the moment before you actually made the decision, because I do remember you said you wanted to speak to your wife about it or something like that. What actually made the difference in that moment when you went back and thought about it for a sec?
Yeah, well, I think when we talk about being all in, um, whoever that is that each of us have as our support system, like they also have to kind of be in on that decision. Because if not, it's going to be hard. You're not going to be able to be truly all in on whatever you're doing. So yeah, so that was for me, need to talk to her and just make sure her support level was going to be 100%. And then once it was like, yeah, let's rock.
Yeah, what'd she say about it?
Yeah, she was like, I want you to be yourself, be better, so do it.
Of course, at the end of the day, like your partner just wants the best for you. If there's any, I can't imagine a scenario where your partner doesn't want the best for you. If they for some reason are holding you back in terms of recovery, you might want to think twice. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, I think too, like that's the one thing about like going through this is like honestly, like you're so focused on kind of what's going on because of those obsessive thoughts and all that stuff that like I don't know, like I can't say that I was the best husband during those 18 months. I mean, I did the best that I could and um I wasn't not saying I was a bad husband, but I think in any marriage or any relationship, you want the other person to be at 100% so they can be the best for themselves and for you, honestly.
Yeah.
So
And let
the
me ask
support
you this though,
was big.
Colby, as like, what if worst case scenario, like your wife wasn't all in on it and she was more like, I don't know, Kobe, if you feel like it's going to work, then go for it. Do you feel like at that point it's your responsibility to make the choice for you or leave that decision up to your partner?
No, I mean, I think that if it's like that, you gotta jump in.
You gotta do it.
For you, I mean, there is obviously a responsibility on yourself I say it all the time, you got to be an active participant in your own rescue.
Hmm.
Um,
That's a
and
bar. I like that.
yeah, you can steal that one for free.
I like that.
Uh, sure. I mean, certainly, yeah, I think you gotta do it.
Good.
But
Yeah. It's real. Yeah, at the end of the day, what I like to say is like no one's responsible for your life but you at the end of the
yeah,
day. No, no one. No one, you know? When I was at my lowest point, I could have blamed everything or I could have left my power to everyone else. But at the end of the day, no one understood me. No one even, it just, we were all on different levels, you know? So I had to take it upon myself, and it's the most important thing, you know? So, yeah, man, ultimately, what specific part of the program do you feel like Colby resonated the most with you, like made the biggest impact on you? Like the course, the calls, the support, what could it be?
yeah. I mean, initially, um, just the knowledge, the actual facts, um, were big because it was like, okay, yeah, yeah, like that is what I'm feeling, like that is what I'm going through.
Hmm.
So like right away, I think there was like that was big to like know that I was in the right spot. Um, and then once I had that, it was honestly just the daily discipline that it instilled, just the non-negotiables. Because honestly, regardless of whether you're going through this or not, the non-negotiables are just great for just
Life.
growth, right? Um, and so to me, that was the big piece, and the support from an accountability standpoint,
Mm,
was big for me. So
no,
yeah, I really enjoyed how it was all set up. Oh,
appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. What mindset did you approach things or like this whole process with that you think contributed to such a quick recovery?
yeah, I mean, for me, like, I think starting out with that Goggins book, like, I
Hmm.
am, and in no way am I saying that I have a mindset like David Goggins, but I pretended that I enjoyed every piece of the pain, like every workout that I had, I told myself that every time that something felt uncomfortable or was tough, that I loved it, right? Um,
Yeah.
and I've just faked it, and that got me in a mindset of like, yeah, like even if I don't recover, like f this, like I'm gonna enjoy this. Um, and
You
so
love
like
that. Yeah,
for me,
that's free sauce right there. Just like really faking it till you make it at the end of the day. That's what I had to do. That's what Goggins
yeah,
did. That's what Colby did. That's what we've all done, you know?
yeah. So
Faking
like for me, like, and I had not ever really resonated with David Goggins before until it was like in this context. But like reading that book from the start, it was like, okay, like I see what we're doing. Like this is we're gonna
yeah,
we're gonna have this mindset, and that propelled me for the whole thing.
agreed. Agreed. What a great book. If anyone's watching this, best one of the best advice I can give you is start off with that book.
Yeah.
Changes everything, to be honest. Great, man. Let's see what else I got. Yeah, Colby. I mean, as you know, the recovery journey was not rainbows and sunshine per se. There's definitely some tough moments. How did you deal with those tough moments, and how did I help you in those tough moments?
I think the biggest thing for me was you just being transparent from the very start that like this is not a linear process. Like it's not a thing that you're gonna just go this way the whole time. Like there's gonna be dips and there's gonna be days that you feel like you've reverted back.
Hmm.
And instead of that, in my own mind would have been, this doesn't work, right? I knew it. I knew that I couldn't recover. It was okay. No, no, no. This was kind of baked into the whole thing. We knew this was going to happen. We just got to keep doing what we've been doing every day. until you don't have those anymore. You don't have those dips anymore, right? So for me, like it was almost like you and honestly the community that we were all sharing the wins, and some people were sharing their tough moments, right? It was like it normalized it for me and made it seem like okay, like this is just part of the recovery. And for that was big because I had not had that, in those 18 months.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing insight. I love it, man. Um, let's see. And yeah, was there a specific moment, Kobe, where you felt like, wow, like I feel recovered, like I feel great, I feel normal again,
Man, I don't know if there was like a specific like time or
right?
something I can put a
I know what
uh
you mean. Yeah,
like a time stamp on, but certainly like you get in this mindset where you're just be trying to become better every day, whether it's the working out or the reading or eating or whatever it is that I think one day you get you're so caught up in that grind that one day you just realize like, oh, I've I haven't, it's 6 o'clock at night. I haven't even thought about what I'm recovering from. I've just been living.
that's it.
Um
It's just
and
living.
yeah,
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's what happened with me. That's happens with every client. If you're always focused on I need to recover, I need to recover, I need to recover, you're done. You know,
yeah,
that mindset shift is probably one of the toughest mindset shifts to actually understand. So I'm not even going to try because it would be like a whole 10-minute video. But it is so important to get yourself to the point where you're so caught up in bettering yourself, you're so caught up in being better every day that you just get lost in the sauce in a good way, in the best way
yeah.
possible. You actually start focusing on what is important in your life and not
Hmm.
symptoms and what you're going through. So yeah, man, that's awesome, bro. Because I remember like 4 weeks in, maybe 5 weeks in, we were just we were like, yeah, you're almost there, you're almost there. And I remember like every time we hopped on a call, you were just like, I'm almost there. Like I feel it. I'm almost there. Like 4 or 5 weeks in a row. But how did it feel like to actually get to that 100% and to embody that 100%?
Yeah, I mean it's great. Like, I think and we talked about it a lot, was kind of that last step was just kind of that at war with your mind about it, just kind of trying to remind you that you're
Yeah, yeah.
stuck in that. And so like once you finally conquer that, I don't know. Yeah, it just I live differently now, I'll be honest. Like,
Speak about that, bro. How do you live differently now? How do you live your life differently? How do you view life differently? All that.
I mean, I think when you go through something like this for such a long period of time, like like I don't take it for granted anymore. Like, eh, you know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like, it's a very scary thing to go through. And when you're going through it, you don't know you don't know that you're gonna get out of it. And so when you do, I always said like if I got out of it, like I was gonna be different. I was gonna take care of myself. The things I chose to do were just gonna be different. I was gonna try to live for a higher purpose, and um, that's what I'm doing. I think we take life for granted. Not to make this like too dramatic or too
It's the most
deep, but
dramatic,
like,
it's the most dramatic thing you could go through though. So like feel free.
yeah, I think we take life and the little things for granted, and that's something I will not do anymore.
No, no. It's amazing. What are you doing nowadays, Kobe, that you thought like maybe when you were stuck in it that it would be like just impossible to do or just like something really tough to do?
Yeah, I mean, I had a hard time enjoying anything, to be honest
Literally
with you.
anything.
So for me, like, I just I do what I enjoy. Like, I enjoy working out and lifting weights. I do that every day. I enjoy hanging out with my friends and my family. I do that as much as I can. Um, it's crazy. Like I'm about to get on a plane and go to LA for a baseball game with my dad, right? Like, um,
When? You didn't tell me about that.
yeah, I know.
When are you
But this was
going?
I'm leaving in a couple hours.
What the
Uh,
hell? Why didn't you
yeah,
tell me?
I don't know.
That's
But
awesome.
but
That's
it's crazy
awesome.
because I had this trip on my calendar. It was about the time that I started this program,
Really?
and I remember thinking when I like this was almost like a landmark for me that like I knew when I booked the trip that like I could not enjoy sitting at a baseball game for 3 hours. Like no way. What are we talking about? And I'm more excited about this trip and like being able to hang out and have fun than I've been about something in a long time. Um, just because I'm able to do that now. I'm able to live in the moment.
That's absolutely amazing, man. I'm so happy for you. Maybe by the time this, I do have to post a couple more interviews. So by the time I post this, send me some pics, send me some videos of you at the baseball game.
Yeah,
I'll add it right at the end.
yeah, good.
That's awesome, bro. Who are you going to watch?
Going to the Dodgers game.
Dodgers. Dodgers and who?
Yeah. Playing the Blue Jays, I believe.
Who are you going
Yeah,
with? Your dad?
yeah,
Just you
yeah.
and him?
Yep, yep.
Time. Have a great time, man. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Awesome. Cool, man. Let's see what else. Um, Now let's talk about how DPDR is a blessing. And we were just talking about that, right? What does that mean? How is it a blessing and why do you look back and like actually appreciate it?
For me, I just think like with any of us, like when we take life for granted, like I was living sloppy is probably the best word for it, right? Like,
Yep.
I mean, not that any of these things are bad, but it wasn't who I wanted to be. Just drinking and just I don't know, just
Eating.
not taking things
Nutrition was
seriously.
off.
Nutrition, like not working out. Like I just wasn't I was a sloppy version of myself, right? Um
Yep.
and I just think that when you do that, it just bleeds over to all areas of your life. And so for me, this was, I think, just a way to redirect me on what I should be doing. And especially like,
Yep.
as I get into being a father and better husband,
Oh,
like all those things, like I just think it was what I needed to get back on track to be who I need to be for my people that, I love and that love me. Um, I'm in better physical shape than I've been in a really long time. I, for me, that's important.
super
Uh,
important. Man, that's amazing. And yeah, speaking, what's coming up for you, bro? What's coming up in the next couple months?
yeah, gonna be a dad.
Gonna be a dad. Oh my God. I don't think you understand how impactful that is for me, bro. Like, if you wouldn't have joined my program, where would you have been today? Like, would you even feel comfortable, becoming a dad?
No, no
No,
way,
no
no
way.
way.
No way. So, I mean, it's hard to even fathom this, but like, I'm impacting generations. I'm impacting you. I'm impacting your son, daughter, and it's awesome, bro. Like, but it's all thanks to you, Colby. Like at the end of the day, I couldn't make the decision for you. You had to make it for yourself. So all credits to
Yeah,
you, man. I mean,
no, but it is it's a roadmap. It's the resources that people need. Like for me, it was never like, is he willing to do the work or is he willing? It was just not knowing what to do, and you provided that. And honestly, I'll be forever grateful uh, for that.
I appreciate that, bro. Of course, man. Wow, that's deep, bro. Yeah, I mean, just to finish up here, man, what would you say to someone right now who's currently maybe just like you going through the interviews and came across this one and is at the end and, they're thinking about, they're kind of on the fence if they should join or not, or even reach out to me or not? What would you say?
Yeah, I would say that you can't afford to not do this. Like you got to get your life back. Like I've been in those shoes, and it's a hard road, and the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to get out of it.
Mm,
Um, but you will, regardless, you will get out of it.
mm.
But taking the bull by the horns and making this decision, it'll be the best thing that you do. It really will for you and the people, your loved ones, your friends. It'll be the best thing that you can do. Um, and you need to be ready to dive in, give it everything you got.
Gotta go all in, man. Gotta go all in. But would you say like is the recovery process like am I making you climb Mount Everest or am I making you like run 100 miles or is it like relatively simple? It's just consistency and discipline. Like what's your take on it on everything when it comes to the
Yeah,
gym?
yeah. I was shocked at how simple everything was. Um, I mean, I was shocked. Um,
I didn't even
and
know that. I didn't even
in
know
fact,
that.
in fact, at first I was like, damn, like I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this isn't like a secret sauce. Like, what did I sign up for? Because it was just simple, but it was um obviously very intentional. Like the things that were uh, the non-negotiables and everything that you were reading and listening to. Um, so yeah, no, you're not climbing Mount Everest. You're making small decisions every day that snowball into huge
There we
rewards.
go. There we go. That's the truth, bro. And I'm glad to hear that from you. You don't understand how surprised I was after I recovered after 5 weeks. And I was like, that's all I had to do? Like, are you kidding me? It was almost laughable. It was almost laughable. I was like, that's it? Even though, of course, it was the hardest thing I've ever did. What felt like Mission Impossible could be fixed with a couple little things, you know? And I was shocked. And that's the reason I even started this. And I'm glad to hear that from you. Like you
Yeah.
say, recovery is not rocket science. It's not Mission Impossible. It's simple. It
Hmm.
just takes work. It takes that commitment. And you have to be at that point where you're like, you know what? I need to do this. Like you said, you can't afford not to recover. That concept right there is so important, you know?
Yeah.
Can't afford not to do it, you know? But yeah, Kobe, awesome, bro. I don't even know if I have anything left, man. Um, no, I mean, last thing would be, man, is there anything else you'd say to someone who's currently who was in your shoes and, just has like no idea what's going on or is just like, fuck, like this is a great interview, but like, I don't know, Colby. Can I really make it happen?
Yeah, you can. And it's not only you can, you will recover. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like, I wish someone had told me that early on. Like, you were probably the first one that said that to me. But like, you will recover. You just have to shift some things, shift your mindset. And trust me, like the mindset thing was the hardest part for me because I was so stuck, and that felt like that honestly did feel like climbing Mount Everest.
Yeah,
Just
I agree
it
with that. I agree with that.
and it it wasn't like overnight, but slowly but surely, like you kind of quote unquote get your mind back, and you kind of you get back in control. And so whoever you are out there that is feels like you are out of control, you will get back in control. You just need the right tools. Um, and this is your guy. So
I appreciate you, Colby, bro. I really do, man. Like, out of it's hard because all my clients are they're so good. They're so good. But like if there's one thing I noticed about you, bro, was that probably one of the most consistent in terms of like you genuinely did not miss a single non-negotiable. You genuinely didn't miss anything ever. Like maybe at certain points, maybe more towards the beginning, but I remember at some point there was a shift in you where you were literally like this, like just cranking it out. No one could stop you. I couldn't stop you. No one could stop you. You were just a machine, just like a train going through it. Like at that point, man, it was all just snowball effect. And of course there was some tough moments like we said, but at the end of the day, we put in the work every day and we made it happen together. And the rest is history, bro. Now you're
Yeah.
gonna be a father. Can't wait for that. You're about to go to a baseball game. And the future's bright, man. The future's super bright, bro. I definitely want to stay in touch this week, just to discuss things for your future. And sadly, I'm gonna have to let you go soon, but not yet.
All
Not yet.
right. Yeah, that sounds good.